Whether it's the likes of Marcus Aurelius, Miyamoto Musashi, or Seneca, the study of philosophy and Stoicism often relate on similar ideas. The study of our own lives and how we can improve them, specifically on how easily one can change their reality simply by changing and improving how they think. This concept is consistent amongst all three philosophers, despite them living in very different eras, amongst different troubles, technology, and knowledge. These philosophers all believed that it was the quality of one's thoughts that dictate and shape their lives. However, in the modern age of social media, with unprecedented standards of perfection, this concept can be hard to grasp. But it seems that in a time long before the digital era, that these questions were answered best. But in an age of comparison and impossible expectations, it seems that men from millennia ago hold the answers to what truly makes us happy. Being able to live their lives in a new and complex way, implementing both stoic and physiological traits to help them better navigate the complex world that both they and we live in. This was primarily achieved through prioritizing and better understanding their conscience, putting their mind over that of physical goods, which only allowed them to compare themselves to the others around them. This is seen commonly within our modern lives, and can be seen through the flashy and extravagant lives that much of the world's wealthy live today, often finding them buying things they don't need and often don't want in order to live more superior lives. This ideology, however, is one of the furthest things from the principles and ideas of the philosophers. Such example is Roman Emperor Marcus Aurelius, who believed that a superior life was not found through what a person owned, but was found when an individual could master their own thoughts, writing, quote, "Very little is needed to make a happy life. It is all within yourself, in your way of thinking." A prominent and quite interesting quote, as Aurelius was the emperor of Rome and held unrestricted access to all a person could want, but chose instead to sleep on the floor and spend his time as emperor living a life he could be proud of, and one that inevitably he would end without regrets. And despite living over 1800 years ago, the emperor understood the human mind and its desires. And despite being at the time one of the most important men alive, he restricted his own desires in pursuit of both bettering himself and the citizens in which he led. The idea that our lives are dependent on the quality of our thoughts is often true, and in a time where it may seem that nothing is going in accordance to how it should, it is easy to find yourself discouraged. This idea of giving up, however, is not new. And as Marcus Aurelius states once again, quote, "You have the power over your mind, not outside events. Realize this, and you will find strength." In the modern era of comparison, it can be difficult to continue working, living, or studying, as it seems you have no control over anything, which, as stated, is true. You cannot control the weather or time, but what you can control is how you react and how you respond to the challenges presented to you in your life. And in similar fashion to the beliefs of Marcus Aurelius, Seneca held the beliefs that one cannot truly be happy attempting to predict and live in the future, as it is just not possible, writing, quote, "True happiness is to enjoy the present, without anxious dependence on the future, not to amuse ourselves with either the hopes or fears, but to rest satisfied with what we have, which is sufficient, for he that is so wants nothing. The greatest blessings of mankind are within us and within our reach. A wise man is content with his lot, whatever it may be, without wishing for what he has not." Seneca, despite living nearly 2,000 years ago, understood that we often use others as a scale for what we want in life, and often find ourselves subpar to the others that we encounter on a day-to-day basis. But as Seneca states, finding true happiness in our lives stems from accepting and being fulfilled with what you are given in your own life, and not amusing ourselves with what-ifs. These concepts, however, may not sit well with many, who believe that they are stuck in life, and where they are now is where they are bound to stay for the rest of their lives, which is where Miyamoto Musashi's beliefs are relevant. Miyamoto Musashi, an undefeated swordsman who saw his first duel at the age of 13, understood from a very early age the reality of how our world works, writing later in his life, quote, "A man cannot understand the art he is studying if he only looks for the end result, without taking time to delve deeply into the reasoning of the study." Miyamoto Musashi became a legendary swordsman through trial and error throughout his entire life, not taking one win or another as him becoming the best swordsman of his era, but rather steps through a lifelong journey, applying his philosophy it can be seen that one's desire to change cannot be applied if the only thing you are looking at is the end goal and not the journey itself, as it is impossible to achieve change without action. Another one of his quotes stating, "Truth is not what you want it to be. It is what it is, and you must bend to its power or live a lie." Miyamoto Musashi understood that you may not be pleased with your current life, but whether you desire change or an understanding of your reality, you must accept the truth that is reality, and not become stuck in one that you desire. If you learn to understand this, and realize that some things cannot be changed, you'll begin a journey towards a more fulfilled and pleasant life, and one that is unique to you. If you become a prisoner within your own mind, you may never begin to live in the first place. Thanks for watching. If you enjoyed the video, make sure to like, subscribe, and comment your thoughts on this topic.